Before you is a giant skeleton in ornate bronze armor. The armor has been bolted onto the skeleton's frame and a series of elaborate symbols have been carved across the breastplate. You wonder where the skeleton came from. You weren't aware they made humans in this size. The huge blaze in its hands looks like it weighs as much as a wagon cart, yeah, so Ben don't want to pick a fight here. Yeah, I don't think there's any point in talking to it. And I certainly don't want to try to pry the weapon or the armor away from it. I can't see that ending well, so I'll examine it first. The skeleton's intricate bronze armor is riveted into the ribcage and the shoulder blades with a series of iron bolts. As you study the frame behind the armor, you notice the same iron bolts are set into the skeleton's shoulders, elbow, pelvic and knee joints. A mass of thick leather cords and heavy knotted ropes run along the length of the skeleton's arms and legs, woven in such a pattern that they resemble muscles and tendon. Okay, the only real option is to examine more. Despite the armor's obvious age, it looks well cared for. It shines brightly and the symbols engraved on the breastplate seem to flow in the firelight. Yeah, flow, definitely. Shifting slightly whenever you try to focus on them. Yeah, we'll study the symbols. Almost unconsciously, you let your gaze relax as you look at the symbols. After a moment, the symbols cease shifting and resolve into a trail of runes that run up and down the breastplate. Strangely enough, the interlocking patterns of runes remind you of chains, and with that thought, you suddenly recall that these runes are some sort of warding enchantment. You will study the runes, try to recall the enchantment. Yeah. Study the runes for a while, but you can't decipher the enchantment. It looks pretty complicated and you're having a hard time concentrating. So basically that means our intelligence is lacking. Or maybe wisdom. One or the other. I think we, with the aid of the Book of Tome and Ash, will be able to decipher it though. You consult the tome and compare the diagrams, the markings on the breastplate. From what you can make out, the runes are a lesser armoring enchantment, but several skull-shaped runes and spherical tracings along the edges of the armor suggest that several greater and necromantic and warding enchantments are woven in as well. Touching the skeleton will most likely cause it to awaken and to defend itself. Okay, we'll consult the book again, how to break these. From what you can make out from the tome, it seems the armoring enchantment applies only to the breastplate. The necromantic enchantment allows the skeleton to be raised, but it is the warding enchantment that gives the skeleton its limited awareness of its surroundings. You'd guess that if you were to mar the skeleton's wards, it would interpret it as an attack, unless you blinded it to your presence first. So we want to get rid of the warding enchantment first, that's the key. The work is difficult and nerve-wracking at first, but slowly your mind begins to focus, and the runes begin to unravel beneath your attack. Within minutes the giant skeleton has been stripped of the enchantments binding it. It collapses, falling to the floor with a crash of bones and heavy clanging noise. Okay. Gained experience. Wait for a moment, but no one responds to the sound. Moving quickly, you sift through the skeleton's parts on the floor. Most of it is too heavy or too old to be useful, but you discover a piece of the skeleton's breastplate with a majority of one of the broken enchantments engraved on it. You have a feeling that it could prove useful once it's hit. Yeah, basically it's a very heavy scroll of armor, spell called armor. But we can't learn it while we're a fighter. Yeah, very, very bad weapon. Not gonna even bother taking it. It's lower quality than normal weapons. This seems to be identical to the last one. I'll go directly to dispelling the enchantments. Yeah.
I feel stronger.
That's a level up for me. Another armor warding recipe, I think.
Alright.
I'm not sure what to call them. They're not exactly scrolls, but they seem to function exactly like scrolls in many D&D role-playing games. Again, straight to the enchantments. Disable. It's a lot of free experience for
Looks
me.
like my skills have increased.
Yeah, we
Alright.
both got level ups. Yeah, this saying 800 experience for each, so that's a decent amount of experience for very little work, and we got loot as a bonus. Yeah, Morse is not an okay fighter with a decent number of health points. We should be better. We got another characteristic point. So what to pick? We definitely could use the intelligence because we had trouble even with that to do anything with the runes. The thing is, I'm not sure what class I want to play. Maybe I'll even switch around. Intelligence would be exceptional. I'm not sure what the. I think I want charisma to 15 first. Although it's probably better to actually increase intelligence and wisdom. Uh-huh. Choices. Well, I don't want to get bogged down in this at the moment, but I do have to put it somewhere. I really could use the intelligence, because if our character doesn't get it, it doesn't matter if we get it or not. This is that kind of a role-playing game, so the stats do actually matter quite a bit, and I hate stupid characters usually in these kind of games. I try to avoid playing them, because I hate when my character is much stupider than I am. Unless you actually want to roleplay an idiot, that's an entertaining option. I'll think I'll take charisma actually. I don't think it's a great choice to take, to be honest. But I want it to be 15. I think I'll get a. Now it's above average and 15 it's exceptional, so there's a definite improvement in it. So I'll take that one. And now I'm pretty comfortable with our bluffing skills too, so I'm not that afraid. I'm pretty confident that I can talk our way out of trouble quite easily.